We have heard a lot lately about how important it is to keep America's secrets secret. For the right, it's about bashing President Biden, and the left bashing President Trump, which makes the next story so confounding. Democrats continue to demand Congressman Eric Swalwell stay on the House Intelligence Committee, which by its very nature gets access to America's most closely guarded secrets. It's the same Eric Swalwell who carried on a relationship with a Chinese spy known as Fang Fang. The exact nature of their relationship is unknown, or whether Swalwell was ever compromised. But the FBI briefed Swalwell about the risks from Fang Fang after she raised substantial money for his congressional campaign. Again, there's no proof of any wrongdoing by Swalwell, but it certainly looks terrible. Terrible. Yet the Democratic House Minority Leader just wrote a letter demanding Swalwell keep his job on the Intel Committee. Hakeem Jeffries called Swalwell eminently qualified for the job. Comes after Kevin McCarthy, the new Republican House Speaker, kicked Swalwell off Intel because of these very security questions. Scott Bolden's here, former chairman of the D.C. Democratic Party. Why is Eric Swalwell the sacred cow of Democrats on the Intel Committee?
He's not a sacred cow. He's been on the committee for at least 10 years, I think. And your lead-in gave the public and your listening audience every reason why he should be put back on the committee. He had a relationship with Fang Fang. She was a fundraiser. Eventually, the FBI told him about her and that she was a suspected Chinese spy. He cut all ties with her, gave her money back, and kept it moving forward. That alone means that traditionally, if he's on the committee when power changes in the House, then he should be put back on the committee as the Democrats want. Doesn't sound like a sacred cow to me. Sounds like the righteous thing to do.
Okay, well, so again, we don't know, to be fair, whether or not there was any, shall we say, illicit or untoward activity between. But
we do know.
No, we don't. We have Swalwell's words for it. We have Swalwell's words for it. But hold on, to that point, here's Kevin McCarthy, the House Speaker. Take a listen.
If you got the briefing I got from the FBI, you wouldn't have Swalwell on any committee. And you're going to tell me other Democrats couldn't fill that slot? He cannot get a security clearance in the private sector. So would you like to give him a government clearance?
You think about this. There's 18 veterans in the House. Swalwell's not a veteran. Never served in the uniform, never served in the intelligence community. There's nothing particularly special about him. 18 Democrats who are veterans, who served honorably. Why even take a chance with Swalwell?
Well, there's no reason not to take a chance with Swalwell. If you listen to Congressman McCarthy, is that the end-all and be-all? Is he the litmus test for credibility simply because he spouts that off? That's political speech. The other 18 veterans on the committee, you're absolutely right, but they're not. Their experiences with military doesn't necessarily qualify them or disqualify them. Here you have a Democrat that's been on the committee for several terms, has the experience, has never been accused of misappropriating or doing anything wrong with keeping secrets, and you just want to take him off because this is vengeance and payback.
Due respect, Scott. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when everybody wanted to investigate Donald Trump in 2016 over the alleged ties to Russia and how Russia was involved in everything. Eric Swalwell got a lot closer to an operative of a hostile foreign country than Donald Trump ever did.
But if he had knowledge, that's the difference maker, if you will. With Donald Trump, he certainly was in Russia regularly. He was hesitant to criticize Putin at all. In fact, in one international interview, after one international summit, he almost succumbed and bowed down to Putin in the international community and to the world, if you will. There was a lot of reasons that he should have been investigated, including his campaign, where his son admitted meeting with Russian operatives.
I get that, but Swalwell took money from a Chinese spy. I'm just wondering why.
He gave it back, and he didn't know it was a Chinese spy. You can't presume these things just because it looks a certain way. He gave the money back, and he didn't know she was a spy.
Scott, you know, if this was a Republican, we'd have a very different view of it. What I also find so amazing is that MSNBC and CNN still have Swalwell on every day. He's an expert without even asking him. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.